Welcome back to some of the most professional StarCraft 2 from the King of Battles group stage. We have two of the most exciting players from two different ends of the playstyle spectrum. Let me introduce. Needs no introduction, but I have to justify my presence here. The world champion, the two-time, the finisher, NC Sports Serral. On the other side, one of the most dramatic shallow learning AIs / golden retrievers, one of the youngest Protoss players making a splash not only in his tech choices, but in his gameplay. One of the more mysterious and aggressive Protoss out there. Of course, Storm Gaming's MaxPax's. Best of 3. Serral, the thing is, Serral against everyone, especially but Reynor. But in general, Serral is the favorite. There is no getting around it. You clicked, or opened, or downloaded on your CD-ROM a Serral match. Okay, if you're coming in here I like to watch close games. It's like you decided to watch a Serral match, and it's not versus Reynor. So you get what you... Stop lying to yourself. But MaxPax's is definitely one of the highest percentage of upsets, both of himself and others. MaxPax's, just when you think he's really starting to find his groove, he's starting to beat some of the top players, that's when he loses 7 series in a row. He starts trying some Blink into Disruptor into Tempest build or something, and everything goes off the rails. And this is what happens with a lot of younger players, is they always have to be pushing in the bleeding edge. Sometimes so far you get burned. But he made it to face Serral, so. And if you have something, now's the time. Okay? If you have something to show. It's a Stargate. We're on Blackburn. Which is a little interesting in a best of 3. Serral let this through the map pool. I guess he feels pretty comfortable on it. As you get several map bans. A lot of Zerg players are less comfortable with the map because it's pretty easy for Terran or Protoss to turtle up on half of it. And then you're stuck in maybe this versus Skytoss situation that no Zerg is particularly hyped about. Let's be honest here. MaxPax's has outright expressed his dismay at the Void Ray nerf, as possibly not coincidentally, MaxPax's success rose with the strength of Void Rays. Now, I think partially coincidentally, as he is a very young player, so hasn't even been playing that long, but his style very much revolved around the utility of the Void Ray in the expansion named after. So now, that's not going to stop him. You make the build time a little bit longer, you make them cost a little bit more, well, you know what the solution is. You just build more Stargates. Not 1, not 2, 3 Stargates. Phoenix is the follow-up, though. Phoenixes have finally found a little space in the meta to breathe, with Void Rays no longer crowding them out as another cheap option that's just straight up better. Serral doing the most middle-of-the-road build. We have 5-minute lair. He's He's built 6 queens. Zergling speed, Overlord speed. He's trying to cover all his bases, literally and figuratively. And MaxPax's as well. Overlord gonna come into the main. Unfortunately for MaxPax, the Void Ray not gonna be here in time to intercept. And the Phoenixes will be the triple star Phoenix. Wow. Okay. Well, Serral, please educate us. Oh. The Adepts get in. Three drone kills. Queens. Get off my lawn! Yeah, well, it's just too many queens. You gotta have all the queens together and on creep to land those transfuses. Gotta be careful. And with no +1 flyer attack, by the way, that means the queens with their base armor are quite tanky against the Phoenixes. The +1 really helps at dealing with anything but drones and Zerglings. Well, MaxPax agrees. Starts his +1. Overseer coming in. So, step 1, figure out what they're up to. Step 2, figure out what's next. And Serral's following the steps. Fleet Beacon is lit. I didn't mean to be literal about that. Wow. Oh. Ah. Oof. Ooh. He lost 10 drones, but 5 Phoenixes. Serral still at 70 drones. This is incredibly annoying, but he's making MaxPax pay for it. Handful of Zerglings. There are no ground units. He has 2 Adepts. Yeah, cancels the gold base. Serral filling in a Spire, a Baneling Nest. Hydralisk Den is not a counter to air. MaxPax, I mean, maybe Void Rays, possibly. But Hydras are expensive and a liability, especially with this many Phoenixes on the field. Flux Veins. Yeah, MaxPax not to be deterred by any sort of silly nerfs. Speed Voids. Corruptors are on the way, but has the Spire been spotted? It has. Not that that would really change what Serral's doing. Queen Corruptor Roach Bane up against Phoenix Void Ray. Nothing on the ground. No ground army. 2 Adepts are not a ground army. They're highlighting how little of a ground army there is. A robotics facility stars. Probably only for observers. This is essentially mech toss here. Serral's at 80 drones. MaxPax's at 80 probes, by the way. Greater Spire. The Adepts? Well, at this point, you gotta be careful how many roaches you build. And it looks like MaxPax looking to demonstrate why I'm surprised Serral let this map through the ban process. As he goes straight into triple Stargate Skytoss with Voiders. Of course, Serral, not even hesitating, gonna have a Greater Spire pre-10 minutes. MaxPax now adding a Robo Bay, a Twilight Council, just filling in the rest of the tech tree. No carriers, by the way. Serral comes in, another Overseer. Spots the Void Rays. Confirms his suspicions. Vipers on the way. Serral has not wasted any time on ill-fated attacks. He has not tried to hit a timing before MaxPax gets his unit composition. He's trying to deal with it head-on. Which is a better long-term option if you can pull it off. I mean, I think a lot of my statements could be followed up with, it's Serral, though. The Queen's lifted. Is that enough of them? It's kind of unclear exactly what's happening. Drop to the ground, try to get some transfuses. Corruptor's doing damage. Oh, the Queen slaughtered. More pickups. MaxPax burning through. The anti-air lacking. Where are the Vipers? Where's the parasitic gun? Banelings into the fourth. 10 probes so far. Where are the Vipers? Where are the Vipers? Parasitic bomb required. Without it, he dies. Parasitic bomb hits a void ray. Good damage on the Phoenixes as well. Oh, kills a couple more. The Corruptors can kite back. Those are Flux Veins void rays, but they can't charge up and use those Flux Veins. Burning through. MaxPax lost his natural. 40 probes down. The main base. Some Zealots warped in. The Roaches are already inside the house. MaxPax staring at his void rays will recall them, but his economy has been decimated. He's down to 44 probes, and he did not make any meaningful progress on Serral's economy. He killed queens, he killed corruptors, but he did not kill bases, and he did not kill drones. Serral still has the same economy he did before this whole conversation. MaxPax, on the other hand, not so much. The Greater Spire. I thought he lost the Spire there, maybe, to the Void Rays. No, it's a second Spire. For upgrades, likely, or just in case. At this point, you don't know. Templar Archives. Serral, carefully remaxing, adding +2, +1. On the ground, the Lingbane, that was unupgraded. Actually, no, he had +1 melee attack. That's pretty much it. +2 ranged attack for the Roaches, but I have a suspicion the Lings and Banes were the majority of the damage there. Creep spread, darting across. Archons added into the fray for MaxPax. Handful of Banelings and Bloodlusts. Brood Lords. The feudal age progresses with queens and lords adding on. But MaxPax charging in, but Banelings looking to greet. Serral in full retreat. There's charge lots in the main. War Prism was taken out by Spore Crawlers. Charge lots to the north. Spore Crawlers with a full retreat. The Queen's trying to hold the line. The Vipers, not that much energy. MaxPax, the main thrust of the attack, falling back. Serral dealt with the attack in the main. He's retreated from the north. He's only lost 4 drones somehow. Meanwhile, a round of Banelings killed 10 probes. So MaxPax tried a triple-pronged attack, swatted down by Serral. Serral, with a single counter, does double the damage. Tempests on the way as the Broodlords are spotted. That was a bit of a waste of Banelings. Somehow Zerglings are in. How did the Zerglings get in? The Zealots. There's a leak. Tempest on the way. Broodlord still holding it home. Serral. He never risks more than he can lose. And if you always have something left, it's so hard to actually win against him. Like, he keeps fighting with armies he can replace. MaxPax, on the other hand, keeps risking both his economy and his army in all of these fights. Corruptors, Vipers. The Broodlord still holding out with the Queens. The creep marches across the map in the most literal sense. Okay. The spores in a slightly more literal sense. Even more literally. Which is starting to lose its meaning here. Serral inexorably moving forward. He will break through the rocks. Another base. Tempest revealed. Storm is done for MaxPax. The Queens have now reached the outside. Serral did not rush here. He ground his way across the map. And now the Brood Lords are in siege range. MaxPax is maxed. Paximally, okay. But he's got to crush this army and the forward defenses. And then decide what to do. But Serral is an inevitability. He's not giving MaxPax, he's just choking him out. At some point you have to go, and hopefully before it's too late. More probes dying. The Templar are zoned out by the Broodlings. Transfuses. Not quite enough to keep all the Broodlords intact, but more Zerglings. A single Zealot isn't gonna cut it. Not enough. A single Baneling. Serral. Streaming through the gaps. The Archons can't get in, they're too thick! The gold base. Eliminated. Excised. From MaxPax. The Queens! Brenda! Maybe a little much! A little much! Off of creep. The Zerglings had to be dealt with. +3 attack. But MaxPax has already lost a bunch of his supply here. Maybe this is why Serral let the map through. Maybe this, like, this is the most comfortable dismantling of a Skytoss I've ever seen. And it's not like MaxPax was behind. This was a completely, it was a relatively passive game for like 8 minutes. Serral just, well, here he is. Grabs the Oracle. Grabs the Oracle. The Tempest trying to get in range of the Infestors, but the Infestors not to be outdone. Broodlords grab some Tempest, retreats to the Spores. Microbial Shroud protects the Queens. Small Zealot counterattack. Chitinous plating for potential Ultralisks. +3/+3 flyer to match +3 melee attack. Fully upgraded Broodlords. Both their attack and their Broodlings. MaxPax, now what? A mothership on the way, a Hail Mary. The Broodlings step a little too far forward. The Queens patch them up. Where are the rest of the Queens? You didn't lose them, right? They went back to inject. He went back to inject with the Queens. He queues up, and now he's back to the front as he presses forward. He's doing damage with the Zerglings, went back to inject, and is now ready to regroup. Oh my. The Queens, I mean, working the whole map. Who does that? Oh my god, the Fungals landing on the Templar. Yeah, the Templar getting some feedbacks. The Broodlords can close in. Parasitic Bomb, Fungal Wombo combo pulls back to the Spore Crawlers. Is there enough energy on the Vipers? Sniping. Archons moving forward. Microbial Shroud for the Queens. Maneuvers the Corruptors out of range of the Archons and any surviving Templar. The Queens holding the line. The Broodlords pulling back. Nothing left for them to do. Fighting. Parasitic Bomb on the Void Rays. Oh my god. Serral should stop smurfing in professional tournaments. Wow. I think I'm gonna slow it down. We gotta go bit by bit on this fight. That's insane. That's madness. I feel obligated. We're gonna slow it down to normal speed, which is like 2/3. I don't know why that's the slowest speed, but he's brought the queens back. He has a queen control group, a broodlord control group, a viper control group. He also has a reinforcements control group. He's got his corruptors grouped in with his vipers. Sending out changelings. Switching between broodlords and oh, lands the fungals, kites back. Broodlords move forward. Queues up parasitic bombs and moves back. Queues up fungals and then shift clicks back. Broodlords move back. Queens transfuses. Thinks about injecting. Realizes maybe he needs to focus on this fight. The corruptors see the archons. Move to the side. Microbial shroud. Infestors dart back. Vipers. Void rays charge up. Corruptors move back in after the Void Rays get distracted. Oh my god, he's splitting off and queuing up Consume on the Vipers as they run out of energy. Mid-fight! That's what he was doing. But only the Vipers without energy, not the one with energy. That one stays. With a parasitic bomb, and then shift clicks it back and splits it off to Consume, brings the corruptors back in. MaxPax's has had enough. And all this happened 3 seconds before flyer attack completed. Skytoss is so easy. Game 2. Just counter it. just micro. Good luck. Luck good. Balance in all things from Serral. MaxPax's. Well. God. I learned so much. I like to think I'm good enough at StarCraft that game just angers me. I have enough hubris to think I'm at the level to understand that so well that I'll never be able to pull off a fraction of it. Like, it upsets me that I'm so good, I know I'll never be good enough. Welcome to my TEDx talk. Thank you for coming. Serral brought 2 drones, was thinking about 3. A measured response. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. We knew it was a fake from the lack of forge in the production tab, but Serral, once again, a very measured response. I like how he brings 1 drone at a time, like, as time goes on, this escalates further. Exactly 1 drone every 10 seconds further. MaxPax's just gotta do something crazy. Alright, we need like a Blink DT 8-gate all-in or something. I don't know. You have to go so far outside that it becomes... It's got to be the so bad it's good, I feel like. Yeah, I'm losing it. Don't. That was regular speed. Overlords are just slow. Don't. Slow Vs are the slowest unit in the game. Don't judge them. Stargate. MaxPax's, it feels like, in the games I've seen, in PvZ, ever since Void Rays got nerfed, MaxPax's has been on a crusade to prove they're still good. Or to prove they're not. I don't know, but it went from about half of his games with Skytoss to, like, 80%. And I know, one Stargate by no means is Skytoss. But I'm saying that the extra 2 or more, that is where MaxPax's has gone a significant number of times. And especially against Zergs like Serral, it just doesn't pan out. The Phoenixes looked like they might have an opportunity. The thing is, it takes so long for them to come together that for every drone you kill, 2 replace it. It's an exponential curve, economically. 2 more gases. Okay, well, if this was the moment, it would be now. He's got 300 gas bank. Oh, God. Huh. Well. Here we are. Give it a... Run it back. It is hardwire. This is the map. This is even more than Blackburn, the turtle map. This is the map that we've discovered exactly how many minerals there are several times. In every matchup. Professionally and not so much. Everywhere you go is a choke point or a ramp. You get 4 bases relatively free with a long rush distance. So, was it in the execution of the Phoenix Void Ray? Honestly, I don't think MaxPax's made... He lost several Phoenixes. He didn't need to lose them. But Serral has it handled. Like, that was one of the most comprehensive defeats I have ever seen. Like, he just knows. It wasn't he found a good timing. It wasn't he got a lucky catch. It wasn't that he caught him off guard. It was 5 minutes of slowly marching across the map. It was like watching a train. Or like, I don't know, a massive super freighter against a fishing boat. You're not stopping it. You gotta get out of the way. But unfortunately in StarCraft, you don't simply get out of the way. There's only so much map to run. Well, the Queen Moot splits off for some injects. A quicker Spire this time, but still not... I mean, it's Phoenixes again. Did he scout the Stargates? I believe he did. Serral always diligent about it. What are you gonna do, pick up the Queens? There's just too many of them. They travel in packs. Creep Owners Association, alright? And right now, the COA has decided we don't like your kind around here. You just don't fit in with the neighborhood. Fleet Beacon. Continuing Phoenix production. +1 era is completed. There is no creep to the... Brenda, whose job was... Actually, the queen... The amount of creep between the main and the natural means the queens don't slow down because they can technically have a leg on each part of the creep. And I'm not even... Like, that can't be on purpose. but the queens don't even slow down hitting that corner, which is hilarious to me. This time, Phoenix range and carriers are the choice, instead of the more, questionable void race. Okay, but they do slow down over... Just Susan! Somebody! No, Susan. Susan! Damn it. Well... Serral struggling. You could... She went back for a second, but the Phoenixes showed up again, as they often do. Go back! Oh my god. Susan. How many times? This is the third time. Third time! He keeps hitting the key. Oh my god. No! In the bay! Serral has a select all queens key. We're hitting the key here. He has all his queen. Oh my god! Ladies! I bet you're wondering why I've gathered you here today. As am I! Oh, there they are. Who's smoking? Oh my god. 13 queens. A baker's dozen. They march! Like it's 2021. In protest of Phoenixes. And here come the Creeper Lords! We brought friends! It wasn't that complicated! We have joint pain, but we brought Ben Gay! The Corruptor's trying to box out Serral with the maxed out 9-minute full queen march. The creep underneath. He brought the creep with him. And in setting up camp, the Corruptors, lasers of all varieties, transfuse, Corruptors trying to zone out. Transfuses on the Corruptors, trying to target down the queens, adding plenty of damage in themselves. +1 Carapace is done in the air, by the way, as a counter mostly to Interceptors and Phoenixes. Serral keeping the queens intact. The roaches have broken through. A less long-winded, but still a very methodical push from Serral. He's broken through the walls. He's cracking open MaxPax's base like a particularly hard-boiled egg. The shield batteries, nowhere to be seen. The cannons obliterated. 17 probes and the natural. This has already been a success. Back at home, Serral has 3,500, 1,200 in the bank. If he lost everything here, he could still replace most of it. The Corruptors microing back. The Queens taking the hits from the Archons. The Corruptors kiting. Roaches trying to target. Archons busting him into position. The Carriers might eventually be able to clean this up. The Archons enough for now. And the Queens and the Corruptors, for the most part, will be driven out. Oh my god, he's maneuvering those Corruptors around so well. And the creep remains. There is a robotics facility. The creep is... I mean, that's one way to get vision. He's building an observer. 5 queens at a time. The Pentaqueen production. Adrenal glands. Doesn't even have any Zerglings right now. The creeps can connect. Roach Corruptor added on. Honestly, MaxPax held that pretty well. Serral, a bit of a cheeky play. A creepy play. But without the Infestors and Vipers as the special sauce on this particularly dramatic entree, not quite as effective against the entrenched Skytoss army. And that means MaxPax will live and be able to recover to some significant... It's not really even that much of a recovery. He's rebuilding his natural. So that's... yeah, that's not great. Serral spent a lot of his gas and is kind of resetting. I do appreciate Serral's willingness to do this, though. He gave it a shot. It didn't pan out, but it didn't set him back, really, either, so... As long as his army didn't just outright die, he still traded pretty well. Yeah, MaxPax's has lost more minerals and gas overall. And Serral is just... he's got 69 drones, which he knows is the perfect number. He's got the hive tech and the rest in the production tab. MaxPax's flies into the Sporist. An Adept. That's my commentary. Funny. Still a single spot of creep gives vision to Serral, and he's gonna use it. He spotted a carrier, kidnaps it, gets out. Clean kill. Few void rays. But who's hunting who? +3 flyer. Or air weapons for MaxPax's. How many spores? The SPM right now. He's got 24 spores. He gets 2 void rays. You can't reach your neck out. He'll chop off your head. Well, MaxPax's is maxed. He's got to pack his bags and go across the map. Oh, gotta be careful with those corruptors. Serral rearranging. It feels like the Ents when Serral moves. They won't get there quick, but there's an inevitability to them. All right, when the Queen Moot and the Sporus and the Brood Lords all march together, there's a lot of momentum. Yes, the Lord of the Rings reference for you. Ents for Ents. Enunciation for no one. Is that a stalker? Everyone's as surprised as MaxPax's is. Mothership on the way. The roaches. So how many roaches? He's got 17 roaches. The roaches are essentially for drawing the attention of the Archons away from the anti-air. They are sacrificial. I mean, they're roaches. But if he doesn't have those, the Archons can potentially maneuver. Oh my, it's so clean! Oh my god, you're not safe even in your own house! No, you can't even go on your front porch! Brenda! Where's the mothership? God. It's disgusting. I'm disgusted, but impressed. That's the best way to play Zerg. Well, there's a big game changer on the field, a mothership. I say game changer, I don't say who for. Oh! What a save! Wow, that's happened. You get one. There's your free pass. The recall out of the abduct. Which, well, now there's 2 recalls. There's the total recall and the strategic recall from to the mothership. The carriers trying to work whatever angle they can on the right flank. There's technically roaches over here. The mothership itself is the secondary recall now. Well, Serral doesn't have spores here. Ooh. Good target fire, gets a Viper. MaxPax's finding the most malleable part of Serral's base. It does not include the main. When does he hit the button here? The mothership. Oh, microbial shroud. Serral, like... The queens with plus... What do they have? +2 carapace against +3 attack interceptors. Microbial shroud, though. Oh, he recalls to the mothership! The teleport dunk. The mothership does die to just a clutch of corruptors. And for what? To keep the carry... Well, here come the infestors. Vipers. Trying to gain energy, but the carriers target firing well. Serral caught off guard. MaxPax's working the edges successfully here. The interceptor swarm closing and microbial shroud helping out. Targeting down. Serral breaking. Broodlords. 1, 2, 3 down. Retargets. Looks for more. The queens. He targets the Vipers. Beautifully done. Parasitic bomb. Terrible. Oh my god, that's so much damage. That's so much damage. Why are you just sitting there? Oh my god, it kills all the interceptors. He's down to 10. MaxPax's fumbled at the 5-yard line. All he needed to do was get out. He won the fight. But the parasitic bomb on the carriers as they recall killed all the interceptors. Well, so he took what was actually quite a solid victory in that battle and turned it into a trade of sorts. Serral still has money, he still has his defenses. He lost a couple bases to charge lots and a lot of drones. He's actually at 38 drones. There's only a couple Broodlords left. The anti-ground is... This is an interesting fight. Stalker versus Queen Broodlord. Well, the Stalkers ain't gonna cut it. Especially not if they walk into Broodlings. The Zerglings on the other side. Serral might not have realized exactly how many drones he lost. Yeah, he's building a few more now. Like, you don't need that many at this stage, maybe 50 or 60, but 40 is definitely too low. It's definitely too low. Especially since he's broke. MaxPax's has made a lot of progress here. He has lost 169 interceptors. So, that's not great, but it's better than losing the game. Oh, not again. I'm not convinced that motherships are anything but a scam intended to swindle Protoss players out of their resources. And ever since Vortex was removed, that has been true. Two motherships down. So, this, between the mediocre queen attack and the haphazard fights, relatively haphazard, from Serral, we're about even on both resources. Well, Serral's at 50 drones, 144 army supply right now. The Broodlings chew into an Archon. It's more the Broodling attack, or the Broodling strike, as opposed to their attack. The attack just gets in the way of things, but the real damage is when the Broodlords initially hit. Well, a small army. MaxPax's doing a good job splitting things up. His army is very good at working around the edges. as we've seen. Are there any Templar? No, just Archons. Oh, Fungal, where's the Vipers? Another Fungal, where are they? Where are they? Parasitic Bomb is used. Now or never on the recall. He doesn't want to use it. Another pair. Oh my god. Oh my god. Well, he's getting on top of everything, so the interceptors have to fight on the Parasitic Bomb. And it wipes him out of the sky. Serral's maxed out. MaxPax's is half that. MaxPax's just gets cleaned up. If there was any doubt, and there was, it is removed. Just like MaxPax's entire army. What did I just see? At the very end, I heard something. So once again, we're gonna go back a bit, though. I do want to break it down. This time was less overwhelming. But key points here. MaxPax's does not have an Oracle. He does not have Templar. And I don't even think he has a Sentry or Guardian Shield. So he is kind of working with this not full-strength army.
Swarm forces under attack. Swarm forces under
At least he doesn't have all the pieces. Oh, we're looking at the MaxPax's. Sorry.
Hive cluster under direct assault.
So the Corruptor move, I think, really does help decide these.
Swarm forces
The
under
Corrupt,
attack.
like when you eliminate the Archons, and that's the key part. Once you eliminate the Archons, you can put the Corruptors on top of the carriers, which means Parasitic Bomb hits the Interceptors while they're fighting. Here, he kept the Vipers back for so long. I don't know how intentional it was, but it ended up working out. The Broodlords eliminate the Archons. Fungal into Parasitic Bomb is already a great combo. So the Interceptor count, we'll just have it on the screen. He has to retarget the Interceptors. If he doesn't, then they're hitting the Corruptors, which are under Parasitic Bomb, and Parasitic Bomb kills Interceptors in one hit. Like, not one hit, but Parasitic Bomb does 120, there's 125 damage. One or the other. Either way, Interceptors have 80 HP, 40 HP, and 40 shield. So that means barely half a Parasitic Bomb is needed to kill Interceptors.
Swarm forces under attack.
How much 54 larvae throughout, like, and all the queens are at the front, which means he was constantly sending the queens back. He has 54 larvae after building 70 lings, which is 35. Serral had nearly 100 larvae. Oh my god. And it's not like he had a ton of hatches. He only has 5 hatches. You can only have 20 larvae per hatch. Serral was nearly maxed, not on supply, but on larvae. Which, so this, I want to take this time, now that we made it to the end. This is why I think, 1, Serral can be so consistent, and 2, why a lot of people don't realize how hard it is to play Zerg. I'm not saying that Zerg is not strong in many ways, but how many times does a caster, or you as someone watching the game, watch how many times Serral's larva injecting? It just seems like he always has enough. It's the kind of stuff that Zergs do so well is the kind of stuff you'll never follow in a cast. You're not watching, like, the pinpoint, like the efficient creep spread, except when it's dramatic at the front. The Overlord spread to the corners. The burrowed Zerglings, like, the details are not flashy. But it's mostly specific to Zerg. And that is why Serral is just... essentially against everyone but Reynor. There's just this level of mechanics that 450 APM, it's a lot. It's no Reynor, but it's a whole lot. God. I hate you, Serral. Stop setting unrealistic standards. You're ruining it for the rest of us. If you felt like this ruins it for the rest of us, or your MaxPax's, like, subscribe, ring the bell, leave a comment. Thank you for watching. I hope I made your day a little bit better. Thank you to King of Battles and Team Alpha X. Good luck, have fun. See you next time. Stay chill.